Hi, my YouTube family. This is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. I thank you so much for being here today. Today, we're going to have a wonderful time together. Hi, this is Mel. I hope all of you are doing awesome. Today, we're going to do a video on Virgo. Now, this has been requested for a while, but it took a little while to do Virgo. It's not easy to do Virgo, they have like so much to talk about. So, Virgo, the time is August 23rd to September 22nd, and the element is art, and their modality is mutable, like they change from time to time. Like they'll say yes to nighttime, morning they change to no. So that's their changeable views and opinions. And their symbol is the maiden, the woman, and the ruling planet is Mercury, and the metal for Virgo is also Mercury, and stone is sapphire, preferably yellow sapphire, and their color blue sapphire also. The color they should wear is blue and beige, and their problems all the time, the intestine and the nervous system, that's what the Virgos rule. So they have problem with their stomach, a lot of problem eating food and digesting food, especially gluten and wheat, and they have problem with their nerves, very nervous. So, and then they're very analytical, intelligent, reserved, critical, extremely critical. They're helpful, and they are well, basically they have all the good characteristics except extremely judgmental and critical. So they should wear blue, olive green, caramel, beige. It's good for them. And their personalities, they are very smart, always think, they always believe and think that they are correct. Like they will not listen to anybody's views or opinion. They always have to be the correct one, and they will go to the extent to lie to make themselves correct. Before they speak, they will think, make up stories in their head just to make themselves correct. And the reason I'm saying this because I have many Virgo friends in life, and I have seen how they act. So that's why it took a long time to make a Virgo. So they are so crazy about the time perfectionist, like this time this has to be done, this time it's the, and same way they want to keep their things like a specific designated place, and when they need it they should find it on the same place. And like if you even move their toothbrush an inch, they will know that you move an inch. So that's how they're perfectionist about their things. And the time, and they are always after excellence. Like if you do a job, it's just never to their satisfaction. Like basically they want to do the job their way, but if you want to do their job, then you really have to do to the point when you get really frustrated and you don't want to do it anymore. So yeah, I would say that good luck if you're working for a Virgo boss. Now, Virgos are very hard on themselves, that's why. And obviously, they're hard on others too. Extremely judgmental, judging all the time, 24/7 will be judging you. And there will be like hardly ever time that they will really appreciate you. I don't think there's any time that the Virgo appreciated me. It was always something like if they say you're really good, and then the next second, but it could be better, like that. So I see a Virgo friend, I know not to expect a lot of appreciation because I know that's how they are. They will not appreciate. So, like if I have given them say $1,000 for something, they would say, "Oh, that was so nice of you to give me $1,000 on my birthday." But then at the same time, they will say, "Oh, you're wasting your money. You shouldn't throw away $1,000." So like, they will say the nice thing, but it has to be tagged with something critical. So yeah, they are extremely hard work. Yes, they do work very, very hard. Sometimes they even forget to sleep. I have seen some Virgo friends will be working till 6 a.m. and then they will sleep couple of hours in the morning and then they go back to meeting about 9 a.m., 10 a.m. So they hardly would sleep. Like they're like really, really good worker. They like to do very hard work, very obedient, very totally focused on the job, like sincere workers. But they are control freak. They like to control everything in their surrounding, everything which affects them, the people, the things. They are comfortable when everything is in their control. And their best qualities are their precision, they are intelligent, they are reliable, so reliability. And their weaknesses are they're super duper 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 critical to the point that you wouldn't want to be with them. Overly cautious, like, oh, don't do this, oh, this one will do this, oh, don't do this one will do this. So it's like that. And then they are cold-hearted. Like if you say somebody died, you wouldn't see them bursting into tears or be very compassionate. They'll say, oh yeah, people dies every day. It's like that. Like the remarks would really cut you like a knife. And overly cautious, if you say, oh, I would like to go for mountain hiking, or no, you will fall down, break your legs. Or say, I would like to go Zumba dancing, no, you'll get hurt. Like that, they're like, they will think in their head that something bad will happen before even they do the thing. So like over cautious. So for that, they became just introvert, don't do anything, sit at home, and just not enjoy the life because they're so scared to do things. And their moral standards are second to none. So, so their priorities are like worth of getting a gold medal. They will prioritize what they need to do. First priority comes their job, and they will just do the job. And they are an art sign which is associated with logic and practicality, and preferring a structured routine life, and which is like well organized. And they often have a external quest to bring order to a chaotic situation in home or anywhere in the world. And they sign in any jobs because they are really hardworking people, good worker. They take the job very seriously, and they require anybody working with them to have a great organization skill and be very proficient in time, and because they like to finish things ahead of time. And they excel in any career, and they take the job responsibility very seriously. They work seriously, and they don't like people who Like they've been given a job and they have to work in a team, and the team is taking slow. They don't like that. They will stay up all night, finish the job, then they will sleep, then they will watch a movie, but they cannot do those things before they finish the job. They hate distraction while working. Like if there's somebody is bothering them or even talking to them or playing music or anything, they just do not like that. And they take their responsibility seriously, as I told you, and they are good at jobs such as like computer engineering or service oriented job. Some of them are doctor, but not too many. And any job, and they go to healthcare industry, graphic designer. A lot of them are in music industry. Beyonce is one of them, and they are mature and practical in all aspects of life. Sometimes people think of them they're way much more older than they are because the way they act, and they are very concerned about money management. And their nature is to be very careful about money. So most of the times people think they're extremely stingy because they like to manage the money well, and they're mostly on saving it for the rainy day. They're huge on that. And if you see them, you always find them with a large stash of money saved up for rainy days. Always have they have this tendency to feel great when they get something for cheap price, in a bargain price. And sometimes I have seen that is so funny, like they will drive to like far away, 2 hours driving to get to a store to get something on discount for a $2, a $10 item. But then they forget that to get to the store, they probably spend more than $10 on gasoline. So sometimes they're so crazy about getting discount or using coupons that they forget that they're actually spending more than they're getting the discount. And they love to brag about themselves or their family members or their friends, their close ones. They love to save money, and they love to have a low cost things or low cost solution to a problem. Like they like to live the thrifty way. So sometimes that gets to the point like they will be wearing clothes from, I have seen a Virgo wearing clothes from thrift store, and he was like a billionaire. So they were like that. And yeah, he had houses and 3-4 houses all over, but used to buy old furniture from thrift store, old clothes from thrift store. And that's why they're called frugal, stingy, and they're actually extremely careful with money. And romance, they favor their head over their heart, which that's how they are. So when it comes to romance, they never like to say like I love you or things like that, or be romantic, or have a birthday party, or have an anniversary, or take their woman, lover, or wife out on a date, or go out for eating or celebrating. They don't do that because they always like to show they're busy in their work and never take the time for themselves or their partner. So basically their love life is not so much. Virgos like a kind-hearted woman with intelligent mind. Virgos are good lovers, and they are pleasing and sensational. And if you seek long-term commitment, and then Virgos are the best because they like to keep a long-term relationship. But don't expect them to bring you a bunch of roses on your birthday or anniversary, or take you out on a date, or on a Valentine's Day bring you rose and chocolate on that thing. That's not their style. So don't be surprised if they don't do it. Argos are they are expressed with thoughtful accents. They sigh, but they have effective flirtation. The biggest problem you face is when you doubt your value, and insecurity that gets the better of you. Like feeling insecure is their worst enemy. So worrying about physical flaws, they don't like to worry too much about their physical flaws, but then they are always worried about that too, because they don't like to overeat, they don't like to get very fat, and people do, when they see people do get fat, then they like to criticize them. And since they are so concerned about their body, their image, everything, they never could actually enjoy anything that much. And even in love relationship, even in bed, because they're always cautious. So the biggest problem is they have this, all the muscles in the body always tight and not relaxing. That's the biggest problem. Taurus and Capricorns are their compatibility, and it is what clicks with them, and kind of they find similar. They all belong to the earth sign, and they are a good match for love and marriage. Now Pisces is a good match too, but sometimes they do fight with each other. And so Taurus and Capricorn for good relationship. Because some Virgos did end up marrying a Sagittarius, but that doesn't last long, maybe a few years, and end in a divorce, messy one with a lot of physical abuse to each other. Virgos with another Virgo is greater compatibility, but then there are times when they like criticize each other so badly, so that doesn't work if they both criticizing, because being critical is their worst thing. And family and friends, Virgos are dedicated to their family members and are especially attentive towards the children and elderly or the sick people. Relatives can also depend on a Virgo when they need someone to help them out. Relatives know that they can rely on them when the problems come. They can give a helping hand. But they're extremely judgmental. Like if they've been asked to give, like say a relative comes and asks, I'm in problem, can you hand me $500? I'll give it to you. They will ask 100 questions. Why did you need it? When you gonna give? Or maybe you can do without it. So I mean, to get to that $500, person has to do so much talking with them, because they'll be so judgmental. So people find Virgo as very stingy and cheap with money, but they're very sensible when some friends are in a sticky situation and needs help. They help them out, but not without criticizing or judgment. So they are very few friends, like one or two, not too many. They take their time to get to know people before they can make friends, help. Virgos are prone to fussy digestive system, and they are susceptible to indigestion, bloating, food allergy. They are susceptible to obsessively worrying, and nervous strain, nervous system disorder, being nervous, and having anxiety disorder. Those are what they need to do, they need to must learn to take some time off and meditate and relax. And they are super health causes, even though, and their diet needs to be full of fiber, including green leafy vegetables, quinoa, oat, nuts, to lower their anxiety and balance their nervous system and intestine. They need to eat a lot of calming food, take magnesium to magnesium bath, massage, oil massages, sun bath, and meditation, yoga, relaxing prayers and stuff. Virgos are highly sensitive to toxins and medicines, some medicines, additive, and they should avoid them. They are known for being the perfectionist, and they are known for their attention to details. They are very practical, but doesn't mean that they they are very organized, but that doesn't mean that they live in a very neat and clean space. Like, they could be very organized, but still, like, you will see that they would impose this organized lifestyle on everybody, while that is not justified to themselves. But like, they will keep their just little area neat, but the entire house might look like a poor, hard, cluttery, messy, but just that their area is organized. So they are very obsessive about where they keep all their things, and they're very obsessive about anybody invading their personal space or touching their things. They're obsessed about their organization of all their belongings. They're highly intelligent, love to work, but love to work alone, in home mostly, because they're not very social. They're introverted. They have a hard time making friends or being social. They have a hard time in expressing their feelings. They never express, they never say sorry, they never say I love you. So they have very hard time expressing their feelings, and it's very hard to know them since they are changeable. Like, nighttime they say they will do something, or morning they say nope, I never said that, I'm not doing it. Something outside and something else is inside, because that's why they're mutable, they're changeable. But if you see Aquariuses, they're fixed. Like, they say something which is right at nighttime, and morning it's the same thing. Virgos have very hard time to expressing their true feelings. They hide their emotions and do not want to express their true feelings to anyone else. What makes Virgos happy? Virgos likes to be busy all the time. They need to be busy, and they need to be in control of all their things, their belonging, their surrounding. Virgos had a sense of purpose, achievement, and love setting goals and checking things off their to-do list. What makes them happy is the fact that they're making an impact, or they have a job where they are doing something great, and they need to feel useful, and they have a quick fix for everything. They like to get things done cheap. They're very stingy, they're extremely judgmental, sometimes with good intentions, sometimes with just sometimes, since they don't really know sometimes it feels like they don't really know that what's being rude. They judge to the point where the people in front extremely get hurt, might be crying, but they really don't care about that. They will say whatever they want because they're extremely judgmental, and they have exceptional qualities of being an employee or employer because they're hardworking, but they have million ideas per second going through their head. So they never, even when they sleep, they're not sleeping, they're just in the bed tossing, turning, jumpy, because their brain never sleeps. They generally very modest, and they want to feel acknowledged for their contribution, but they don't need like a big party for their appreciation, but they just want like acknowledgement that they did it. They are little geniuses. They notice details, but which is not on everything. They will notice details on their paper, on their job, but then they are not as sharp as and curious. Like if someone came in the door, and if you ask an curious, okay, what was that lady wearing, and she'll say, oh, she was wearing a purple jacket, she was wearing a blue jeans, she had this beautiful earrings, she had lipstick on, and her hairs was open. But if you ask a Virgo, what was the lady wearing this, maybe he is the one who opened the door and talked to the person and said, well, didn't really pay attention. So it's like that. So there's pay attention to the paper they're working, but then not too very detailed like the curiouses. The curiouses would pay a great deal of attention. So they are their speech is usually without the feelings, and they just, people would consider them usually rude or heartless. They're enemy for themselves because they actually hate wasted time, wasted space, wasted materials, and their rude behavior or the criticism is the enemy. Their expectations from others very high, their expectations from themselves very high, so that is their biggest enemy. And they have actually all the good qualities except being extremely hard on themselves and others, extremely judgmental. But other than that, they're very geniuses, analytical, intelligent, reserved, critical, helpful, and good people. They are good as husband or father or brother, but then just keep in mind few things. They are not very romantic. They will not bring flowers and candy or celebrate birthdays or even holidays. So like that. So this was there's a lot to talk about it. And they also, to end it, I would say they also have addiction sometimes. Some of the addictions, some people have like cigarette, or some have drinking addiction, some have addiction to saving money, and some have addiction with porn. So they have addiction. Once they get addicted to something, it's very, very extremely difficult for them to get rid of that addiction. So the addictions goes with them till death. Hi, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share this video. Thank you. May God bless you all.